There were clear blue skies over Austin on the morning of Thursday, February the 18th, 2010. At around 10 a.m., a senseless act of violence resulted in thick black smoke filling the skies at 183 near Mopac. This week marks the 4th anniversary of a grim event in Austin's recent history, when a suicide pilot crashed his small plane into IRS offices here in Northwest Austin. Here's an in-depth look at how KXAN News covered what happened. At first, confusion reigned.
We kind of thought it was somebody just messing around, flying too low, trying to scare their co-pilot or whatnot. It's very surreal.
And then boom, I saw the explosion.
It was going fast. It was low, right across 183.
It was whoosh and roar and boom. Could see that stone wall, the retaining wall?
Yes.
It hit right above the retaining wall and shot in that building. A gigantic fireball came out, probably 50 feet wide. Then windows blew out.
That's exactly where impact happened, on the first floor, right above this retaining wall.
The single-engine Piper Dakota, which had taken off from Georgetown Airport minutes earlier, descended low over 183 and crashed directly into Echelon Building 1. The pilot was precise in his targeting. He aimed and struck directly at a suite of offices housing dozens of Internal Revenue Service workers, a location where tax audits and investigations were conducted.
If you have serious tax problems in Austin or Central Texas, you'd go in that building.
It didn't take long to conclude this was a deliberate act.
We are getting word that Homeland Security is taking a look at this.
Very quickly, police found a connection between a fire at the home of Andrew Joseph Stack in the Schofield Farms neighborhood of North Austin with the plane crash.
And we're also hearing from officials that the pilot may have possibly set his home on fire.
Stack's wife and 12-year-old stepdaughter had checked into a hotel the night before after the 53-year-old had gone ballistic over issues with the IRS.
Police say Stack torched his home, then drove to the Georgetown airport.
My jaw was dropped. I thought there must be dozens of people dead.
But only 2 died, the suicide pilot and 68-year-old IRS employee Vernon Hunter. 13 others were injured, 2 critically. Why did Stack do it? The morning of the attack, he posted a suicide note on his website. In it, he ripped not only the IRS, but President George W. Bush, the Catholic Church, and others. But there were positive points. One of the men hurt here that day has gone on to help others in similar situations heal. Here's KXAN's Aaron Cargile.
It's a celebration.
Lemon pepper and garlic salt.
Welcome home, brother.
Chief Petty Officer Paul Christ spent 8 months on a mission overseas.
Nice to see you.
It's the latest way this barbecue cook-off team is giving back.
We did the turkey takeover, we did the Christmas toy drive, we did 3 barbecue cook-off events.
Rachel Hill's husband, Shane,
Put on an apron.
is behind the burn unit.
He's always coming up with some sort of crazy idea about what his next project's going to be, and that was even before the accident.
The name, a place Shane Hill spent some time.
My eyebrows were gone. My hair was gone.
These pictures show the 2nd and 3rd degree burns covering Shane's body after Joe Stack flew his plane into the Echelon building. The state employee was in his office on the phone with his son's school at the time of impact.
As I was seated by the windows, and I started to walk back away from the windows, and the room exploded. It was immediate fire everywhere, and it shot me across the room, and I hit the ground, and I knew that I was on fire. The first time my daughter saw me, she said, "That's not my dad."
This is the first time he's spoken publicly about the tragedy.
Is it tough?
To share the mission behind his new side gig, something his 11-year-old son understands.
We help people who have been burned in any kind of situation, and we just try to raise money and have fun, really.
It's neighbors and friends, and then it's friends of friends.
He knows Ashley through softball.
How are you?
Grew up with Melanie. Russell is just a buddy. And Mike Tovar lives across the street.
Us helping them, it really gets me right in the heart.
I'm raffling this off.
Shane's wife agrees it is about giving back, but also believes it's healing her husband.
He needed this. I think he needed this more than anybody.
We're going to watch it, Bubba. Just have tried to get to a place to where I'm back to normal again and doing what Shane likes to do.
Taking the focus off himself and putting it on others. In Round Rock, Aaron Cargile, KXAN News.
A week after the crash, engineers determined that the Echelon 1 could be rebuilt. Millions of dollars later, it's back open, but the IRS no longer has offices here. Federal officials determined what happened here was a criminal act and not a case of domestic terrorism. We'll have more on the anniversary of this event. Join us for KXAN News Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. In Northwest Austin, Robert Hadlock, KXAN News.